The Britons, led by Boudica, stormed into the towns with fire and sword. No age, no sex was spared, only slaughter, crucifixion, and the gibbet awaited. The colony at Camulodunum, founded as a settlement for our veterans, was the first to feel the storm. Its temple to the deified Claudius, glittering with riches, was seen by the rebels as a symbol of tyranny. The Roman officers had given no thought to defence. Neither rampart nor ditch had been built. The veterans were harried in their homes, the temple besieged for 2 days, and on the 3rd day it was taken. All within were massacred. A cohort sent for relief was cut down. The Britons ranged far and wide, sparing no one, for they knew not how to take prisoners. The same fate befell Londinium, though it was filled with traders and merchants. Suetonius, the governor, weighed his small forces against the vast host of the enemy and chose to abandon the town. Those who lingered behind met the same doom as at Camulodunum. Verulamium fell next. In all, 70,000 Roman citizens and allies are said to have perished. They suffered by sword, by fire, by cross, with every torture devised by savages. I myself saw heaps of bodies, still half-burnt, strewn across the roads and among the smoking ruins. The Britons, in savage triumph, hung up the noblest women and cut their breasts off, sewing them to their mouths, and then impaled them on sharpened stakes. All was rage, vengeance, and horror, yet fortune turned. Suetonius, with only 10,000 men, drew up in a narrow defile, the wood behind, the open plain before. I watched as the Britons surged upon us, countless, their wagons filled with wives and children behind the ranks, so that none might flee. The legionaries, in close order, hurled their pila, then advanced in wedge formation. The enemy, hampered by their own numbers and the press of their wagons, could not turn nor escape. It was slaughter rather than battle. Some 80,000 Britons fell against 400 Romans. Boudica, poisoned by despair, ended her own life. Thus ended the rebellion.
Boudica was of royal descent, tall of stature, terrible in aspect. Her glance was piercing, her voice harsh. A great mass of tawny hair fell down to her hips. She wore a tunic of many colours, and a heavy cloak, fastened with a brooch. About her neck hung a great golden torque. She would take a spear in hand and speak thus: "I rule not as a woman, but as one descended from mighty ancestors. The Britons are used to being led by women. This is not new. But now I fight not for my throne or wealth, but as one woman for my ravished body, for my daughters dishonoured. The Romans have scourged me like a slave. Let us show them that they are hares and foxes trying to rule over wolves and dogs." With such words she inflamed her people. They rushed upon Camulodunum, seat of the Roman veterans. The city had neither walls nor ramparts, relying only on the temple of Claudius. The rebels cut down all they found. The temple was besieged and burned. Those within perished in the flames. The Roman cavalry sent to relieve it were slaughtered. The Britons spared none. They hanged, burned and crucified. The noblest women they pierced with stakes, cutting off their breasts and sewing them into their mouths, all the while feasting and sacrificing at their altars. Then they came upon Londinium. Suetonius, weighing his numbers against theirs, abandoned the town. The inhabitants who lingered were slaughtered. Verulamium was next. In all, more than 70,000 Romans and allies perished, women, old men, children, with no quarter given. The Britons showed no pity, no thought of taking prisoners. Their cruelty surpassed all measure. But the gods favoured Rome. Suetonius drew up his men in a narrow place with the wood behind and the open plain before. The enemy came on with great shouting. Men, women and children crowded together, their wagons behind them to block retreat. The Romans hurled their pila, then closed with swords and shields, pressing forward in wedge formation. The Britons could not stand against it. Their numbers choked the plain. Their wagons hemmed them in. There was a great slaughter. Bodies lay in heaps. The very earth was soaked in blood. Of the enemy, 80,000 fell. Of the Romans, not 400. Boudica, unable to bear the shame of defeat, took poison and died. Thus ended the rising of the Britons.
In Britain, there was a grievous rising under Queen Boudica of the Iceni. She lashed her people into fury, for her daughters had been violated by the centurions, and her own body scourged. The Britons, gathering from every quarter, fell upon the colonies of our people. They destroyed many thousands of Roman citizens and allies, burning cities, tearing down altars, and slaying with every cruelty. Londinium, then only a settlement, was consumed in flames. Camulodunum and Verulamium shared the same fate. The governor Suetonius Paulinus did not falter. With but a single legion and a few auxiliaries, he met the countless multitudes of the Britons in battle. The ground was heaped with their dead. Boudica, unwilling to endure capture, drank poison and died. Thus Britain, which had seemed on the brink of being lost, was saved by the valour of one man,